Okay.
Mckay went for some fast 3 bases, and then...
Yeah, I caught the tail end of it there.
Alright, so up in the top left, we have our Zerg player, Mckay, coming back from a 0-1 deficit right now. And if you want to introduce our player in the bottom right.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And down in the bottom right are Orange Protoss. After a reasonably decisive victory in Game 1, it is aQua.
Alright, so we saw both players playing pretty standard in the last game. Mckay choosing to be a little bit greedier and aQua choosing to be a little bit more aggressive. So we'll see how that pans out again. So far from aQua looking the same pylon placement at the entrance there. And sending the probe out to scout.
1 second, just got a message from Flower Girl.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm just going to add that person after this game and just direct them your way.
Alright, great.
That should work. Looks like 15 hatch first coming down from Mckay. I think he might be trying to play greedy again.
We'll see if he can make it work. I think he just took a little bit too much damage from his early Zealots last game. Kind of threw him off for the rest of the game.
Oh, okay. I actually did not catch the beginning.
Yeah, he had
Walling.
There's a nice 2 Zealot pressure came out. There were no Zerglings to respond to it, and he just did a lot more damage than he should have been able to do with those first 2 Zealots.
Okay, yeah, well, it should... Hopefully it'll work a little bit better. Looks like Aqua's going for the wall at the top of the main ramp here.
Yeah,
instead of down.
Gateway expand again.
Yeah, it looks a little typical there. Pretty standard in PvZ nowadays. A nice little hatchery block here by aQua.
That is. aQua's control has just been really phenomenal in these last couple of games.
That was like borderline parting versus life level in the GSL.
I know.
I don't know if you saw that or not. That was sick. Pool going down here for Mckay.
Yeah, so he's getting that a lot quicker this time.
Okay.
Definitely
Yeah, I think he's probably... Yeah, he's probably a little bit wary of that Zealot pressure from last game that you mentioned.
Definitely. And
Although, I don't...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. All
So
you.
I was saying that Zealot looks like a little bit more delayed than last game too. So I'm sure he's assuming that Mckay is going to respond a little bit more defensively and not let that happen again. So he is taking advantage of that and getting his tech out a little bit quicker.
Mckay is going to scout this natural here and not see a thing, which might throw him off a little bit. You'd think that the Nexus would be down by now.
Yeah, usually
if he was going for a gate expand, yeah.
Last game, the exact same thing happened. He had the Overlord sitting here forever. The Nexus was so late from aQua, but I mean, you just don't see this kind of play very often. So I don't think he was really prepared on how to respond to that.
Really don't. I don't know if it's metagaming or what. It might be. I think he might have solved PvZ.
He's all moving across the map here. He's only going to make 1 this time, so
okay.
Not committing as heavily to this.
And the Nexus does go down here in the natural for aQua.
It is nice. We do already see some Zerglings on the map, too. He's going to have 4 by the time that Zealot gets up there, and he's going to be able to deal with this just fine.
Yeah, Mckay is definitely looking to be a little bit... He was definitely wary of that early pressure again.
Yeah, but that was just great control from aQua there. I don't know if you caught that, but...
Actually, yeah, that taking off that ling. Nice little probe and Zealot micro there.
Microing the probe around the Zealot. Really great.
And he makes me look awful. Although nice little pullback on the ling there from Mckay on that first one. Not so much on that last one, but hey.
So aQua abusing that mineral positioning though. Really doing everything he could with that Zealot. Oh, I thought he was going to pick off that last ling there.
Oh, is he going to get a drone? He does get another one indeed.
aQua's just lethal with these Zealots. Makes me glad
he's got 2 workers killed for the price of a probe, which seems to be pretty good to me. Well, and the Zealot.
Yeah, but I mean, he took out the Zerglings too, so really,
yeah,
if you're looking for that, I mean, he traded mineral-wise efficiently, and plus that was 2 workers to 1 that he lost.
Which is a good trade any day of the week, honestly.
Absolutely. And getting a cannon down a lot earlier this time too, being a little bit wary of any counterattacks, and the wall is looking a little bit funky.
Yeah.
There, it works.
I can't. Do you think that's? I think that might be a gap actually.
Where up at the top?
Between the pylon down here and the second gate, I can't really tell.
And I think it's pretty solid.
Okay, yeah, that's solid.
When it's
just when they're coming in, it looks weird.
Yeah, when it's in the big orb, a little bit harder to tell.
Sentry chasing off this Overlord while the mothership core, warps in here down at the natural. Again, some pretty standard, somewhat standard stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him using the probe to complete the wall though, instead of sending the sentry up there, like he did.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
and putting the robotics bay right, or the robotics facility rather, right up front there. So it should be scouted pretty easily. If the Zerglings do run to the
Maybe
top
he
of the
wants him
ramp.
to see it. Who knows? +1 is going down as well. And as well as the layer on Mckay's side of the field, as well as +1 melee. And the evolution chamber, second evolution chamber, excuse me, on the way as well. Interesting positioning on these Evo chambers.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
you
too.
want them.
Do you
I don't think
that,
you'd want them on the low ground.
Do you think that Mckay is planning for some sort of timing here with a 2 base? Because usually you see Zerg taking their third right about now, but it doesn't look like he really intends to do that.
Honestly, I am not sure because I've never seen this style of play out of either. I've never seen either one of these styles of play before, but it does look. Okay, yeah, it definitely looks like that. He just is bringing in a lot of Zerglings. I'm honestly expecting a banding nest to come down at any time here.
Right, and that might actually do quite a bit of damage. The Baneling explosions, I believe, do ignore the the hardened shields.
They do on the Immortals.
Yeah. So
I think he's expecting a Sentry. Actually, you know what? I think this might be a Sentry Immortal all-in from aQua. Just a very, very odd and uncommon build order.
I think, though, usually with the Sentry Immortal, you don't really get the Twilight Council as soon. And
oh, I did not see the Twilight. That is my bad.
And I usually see about a flood of gateways about a minute before this also. Just
yeah, that too as well. Yeah, +2. So it's definitely not a Sentry Immortal all-in.
I was a big fan of the Immortal all in there for a while. I got frustrated playing versus Zerg and just decided to use Naniwa's Zealot Immortal all in.
Oh, I was just dying. I was dying PvZ, and then I said, "Hey, look, Stardust just won a DreamHack off of it. Sounds good. Let's do that."
Yeah, I don't know. I started trying to play Standard just because I want to learn the game instead of just getting wins. But
yeah,
definitely in a pinch, those Immortal timings are brutal.
So good. Third is about done here for Mckay.
But we do have
mean, if
aQua
he's
throwing down his third at the same time too. So I mean, he's really not in a bad place economically either.
I think actually Mckay might be going for a Ling and Fester kind of composition because we do have pathogen glands on the way as well as +2 melee for those Lings. Actually, I think he's just going straight up to Ultra and Fester with Lings. That Hive is on the way.
I did read about this. There's a build that's supposed to be pretty easy on Team Liquid that you basically rush straight up to Ultralisks versus Protoss, and you're able to get them out by the time the Protoss does their first death ball push.
Yeah.
And, it's actually it's a really neat way to play Zerg because you do more. It's like you almost have a death ball style of your own.
You really do, and it's very, especially if you can get these pathogen glands with those infestors in there as well to lock down that Protoss death ball.
The only problem that I see, though, for Mckay is that aQua's control is just so phenomenal that I think if they get into a straight-up engagement like that, he's going to be able to find a better positioning and use. You know, he had such a high Colossus count last game. He just was roasting away everything on the ground and then masked up Blink Stalkers, and I mean, he played the game.
He just walked across the map after that.
Yeah.
And that positioning on the ramp in the natural when he left the rocks unkilled, it looked like it was going to work well for Mckay because he could fly in and do some potential damage on those Colossus with his mutas. But aQua just seemed to just outposition him that entire engagement. It's quite phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by aQua's play. I'm really surprised that he's Diamond because
yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't compete with this guy.
I mean, he plays as well as one of my top players actually, and he's mid-level masters on the European server.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is his matchup or what, but this is just really. I mean, he's just been absolutely effective with every unit he makes.
Hey, maybe he's like Nerdshow. He's amazing in every other matchup except for PvZ, except the way around, or ZVP. Excuse me. Yeah. Nice little forced recall there from Mckay, actually. That I don't know if how much aQua utilizes the use of his mothership core, but that's always a good thing to get a mothership core to waste energy for pretty much no reason.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And his creep strat actually from Mckay is quite phenomenal.
It is. He's gonna be able to see the Protoss move out.
Yeah, he's got vision across his entire side of the map. Oh yeah, no, he'll be able to see whatever's coming.
aQua's army really not all that scary yet, but we do see more gateways coming in, so he's going to be able to start pumping out that army pretty quickly.
Army supply for Mckay is almost double that of aQua, actually, although the question is, actually, you know what, no. Even with that, aQua does have 3-2 on the way, so I think he does have a superior army not composition and quality at this point. It actually
Yeah.
does have Blink and Templar archives too.
Oh, yeah, the composition was definitely better for Aqua a minute ago, but the Ultras are out on the field now, so if he can get the right angles and get some really nice fungals in, these Ultralists are going to be
This
really
could get very
devastating.
ugly. This could get ugly real quick.
There we go, Aqua moving out a little bit, but putting
Aqua
back.
does.
So he does see the Ultralists. He knows they're there.
Yeah. And he knows he might be in
a lot of Archons
trouble.
there. Really nice.
Cute
It's gonna
little
make this,
play.
Yeah, it's gonna make this army look way more scary than it is.
Because there's not a single Overseer here for Mckay at all. There is a nice engage here in the middle. Fungals go down on the entire army. Ultra's doing work on the Colossus in the back, and it looks like Mckay is going to shred through this Protoss army.
Absolutely. At the beginning there, it looked a little shaky when the Immortals started picking off Ultralists, but in the end there was just too much from Mckay, and he escapes with one Colossus. So
I would say overall Mckay did win that engagement, but
absolutely. I mean, and the thing is too, he was able to break the line where Aqua would want to take his fourth.
absolutely.
So he's getting a fourth of his own too. And this is really a really nice game. It's kind of weird. They're both playing really macro, but they're taking their bases kind of slow.
Yeah, it is. That's why I was so confused at the beginning. It's just you don't see a gate FE that slowly.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a one gate regular expand.
It really was.
Nice.
It's like a one
gate.
gate.
Pick up the observer.
No, I actually did
Oh,
not
and it
catch
does
that. I
go.
was looking at the Lings down on the bottom here, somewhat trying to take out these rocks. He's not really paying attention and watching his Lings at all. They're getting killed off for nothing by these cannons. There he does go try and get them to attack onto the rocks, but I think it might be too late. He might have just wasted those Lings.
I think
It's gonna be close. There it is.
There's still no hole in the wall, so.
Yeah. I mean, it does help a little bit, but
It
I
does,
mean,
but-
that's assuming he gets there in the next engagement.
And the nice thing about Aqua's placement, I don't know if he did that on purpose or not, but there's that little path that goes straight back to that cannon, so the AI will bug out and try to run back to attack the cannon instead of killing the gateways that are walling it off.
And it will clump up.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
that'll be like one, maybe two Zerglings able to attack at a time.
Is Mckay Diamond or Platinum?
These are both Diamond players.
Okay. But yeah, Mckay is going to have to actually manually target those gateways to get them out of the way, although I think the Ultras will be able to do pretty good work with them pretty quickly. We do have one Storm and 4 Templars out on the field, I think. 5 Templars? I think he's got one Storm.
The Storm research only just started, though.
Oh yeah, he did, actually. That is...
All these Templar will have enough energy to Storm once that finishes, but is he going to get a chance to finish it? And Mckay is going to pull out there wisely. The Zerglings just weren't able to get a good position with all the Zealots in the front there.
Especially with those Archons dealing out damage from the back. They are such high DPS. They may shoot slowly, but they do so much damage onto that bio.
We have 20 Mutalisks on the way.
Oh my god, I did not even see the Spire go down. Oh my goodness.
I do not see how Aqua's going to be able to deal with this. If Mckay is on top of his Mutalisks, they're going to be able to fly around between these 3 bases that are so close. And there's not even really all that much that can deal damage to them in the first place, let alone be mobile enough to catch them.
I mean, does Aqua even know about this Mutaswitch coming in right here? This is like JVZ level meta Mutaswitch.
I'm pretty sure that he doesn't know about this.
Yeah.
McKay's been really careful about watching for observers, even where he doesn't have overseers. He fungals observers, and I mean McKay just playing so much better than he did the first game. He's just playing a little bit too greedy and trying to catch up the entire game last game. But now we really see how good he is when he's able to take control and set the pace of the game.
And then Mutas come in and just say hello to the 4th. Aqua's just got to have this sinking feeling in his gut at the moment.
And it looks like he's going to go for a base race. He did this last game and it worked out really well for him. So we'll see if he's able to make it work again. He just doesn't have the same presence that he did last game.
Notice
nice
he
concave already set up for McKay.
He doesn't even have anywhere near as much anti-air either. And it looks like McKay is going to take the nod from Aqua and just send all of his units to the other side of the map as well.
I think he probably could have stayed back and put a couple of fungals on that army and at least taken out that huge zealot group there.
Yeah, it could have done a lot of damage and actually would make this a lot closer than... Well, because of that, it makes this a lot closer than McKay is probably going to like, although Aqua has, for some reason, stopped outside of the natural. I think that hesitation might end up costing him.
I think the nice thing, though, for McKay this time, as opposed to last time, is that it's not just Mutalisks back home. Look how fast he was able to take out those 2 bases.
Absolutely.
Pylons are going down in the main. There's no production left. There are 4 gateways rather, left for Aqua, and he's just not going to be able to create that Mutalisk, the Stalker Ball that he had last game to deal with all the Mutalisks.
Yeah, there's nothing but cannons coming right now. It looks like this is. I think we're going to be seeing a GG very shortly.
Yeah, this is definitely. Pretty sure this is going to come down to a final third game.
Absolutely. I mean, excellent play, excellent comeback game from Mckay here. After a pretty decisive loss in that first one, he's looked on top of his game the entire time in this second match, or second game, excuse me. Interesting enough, though, if you go ahead and look at the vision of aQua, he hadn't seen anything until that little push outside of the natural of Mckay. He never saw the third, he never saw the fourth. He'd only seen the extractor on the third, and that was it.
Wow.
And there's a little BM there, no GG.
A little